Hey, what's going on, guys? Swiss Maverick here. Um, yeah, if you follow ARMA 3 on their website and whatnot, on the official website, you might have heard about it. ARMA 3 Zeus is announced now. For a while now, there has been going on a lot of fuss about this supposedly great multiplayer update that is coming, or that was kind of teased that was teased by BIS. Yeah, there were a lot of speculations within the community about what it could be. Some people were hoping for some changes in maybe the server config to make multiplayer servers running more stable and increase performance there. Others speculated that it would be extra content, extra multiplayer scenarios, things like that. Yeah, yesterday I saw that there was a countdown on the official Armaholics or on the official Arma side. Sorry. Um, I talked about it with two of my officers, two of the officers in my community, and we were kind of joking about what it could be and if they would actually release something today when that countdown comes to zero, or what it would be. When I came home from work, I saw the countdown was down to zero. The release, if you will, was out. Turns out it is not an actual release. It is just an announcement for a release. So I find that pretty hilarious personally, to make a countdown for an announcement and not for something that you will then actually release. So you just tease and lead on players who hope for new content, and then when the countdown comes to zero, all they get to do is like read about what is coming, maybe in another 2-3 months or whatever. So I find that not super funny. Quite frankly, I felt a bit pranked by BIS there. Nevertheless, what is announced is, in my opinion, pretty good. It is called Arma 3 Zeus. It is a multiplayer DLC, a free DLC. I'm not sure if it comes with a patch once it's released, or if it's something you can download from their official website or something like that. Um, what I'm going to do now, I can obviously not show you any real life gameplay because, again, it is just an announcement that is out now. It is not downloadable content yet. What I'm going to do is just analyze the facts BIS released today. In that announcement, we will watch the teaser that just went online on YouTube as well. And I'm just going to share my impressions and my opinion about the whole thing. So if you want to check that out yourself, just go to the official ARMA 3 website, and then you get the countdown. You can click on that or go to Spotlight down here. It doesn't really matter. Once you do that, you should end up here. And this is like the announcement page for that Zeus mod. What we'll do first is just like read here, Arma 3 Zeus, a new form of multiplayer engaged in online combat, influenced by a higher power. So Zeus, obviously the Greek god. You rules your way. Free DLC for Arma 3 coming soon. So that's what we know so far. What I'm going to show you now is the teaser, and maybe I will pause it at some point during the video and just share my idea about what it could be. Alright, so what you see here is basically some sort of user interface. I've already done some reading, and Zeus basically makes one of the players transforms him into a god, basically. So what he can do is influence the mission on the fly. So he has some sort of unique user interface that only one player has access to, and from there he can influence the mission. He can create tasks for the teams. He can add vehicles, he can add enemies, and all kinds of things. He can add objectives. So it's, if you know the MCC sandbox, which is a mod for Arma 3, it is kind of similar. It goes in the same direction. So you have a few members or a few players actually playing a multiplayer mission. It can be co-op or team versus team. And then you have one guy who plays Zeus, who plays this god, who can influence the mission on the fly. So this is the user interface. See here on the top right, you can create. So there's a selection of things you can do. You have here the man is usually a single unit, and you can probably create groups. You can probably create some sort of objects, and then you have what appears to be markers, and then that goes for all the factions. So you can just create things on the map while the mission is playing in the background by other, or where the mission is played in the background by other players. So again, you can enroll into the mission as a player. Obviously, what's written here, adapt to unscripted events. So yeah, that's kind of the idea of this really on-the-fly mission creating that also the MCC Sandbox add-on has. As a player, you never really know what's coming, obviously. And also, if you can basically create one mission as a base, or as a template, if you will, and then by using this guy in the Zeus mode, the mission will turn out completely different every time you play it. And as a player, you will always have to adapt to the situation as you do in real life as a soldier as well. So here you see the Zeus guy creating a roadblock instantly. And obviously that team here in the Hunter has to adapt to that situation because they cannot pass that barrier with the vehicle. So again, if you're playing as Zeus, you can really give your buddies a hard time. Also here you see there was the same situation, the guy's stuck on that bridge, and then the Zeus can command AIs that are placed on the map. He can like pick them or mark them and give them waypoints, therefore also influencing the combat on the fly. So this is something you might have seen from an early screenshot. When BIS first mentioned something that is coming, then we saw a screenshot of a hunter being blown up by a flash. Yeah, if that's realistic or not, an armored vehicle being hit by a flash or by lightning and then exploding instantly, that's something we can discuss another day. Obviously, it is a tool for the mission creator here, to take out vehicles as well. It's not just like grab them and drag them away or so. So for the players in game, the vehicle gets hit by a flash and it explodes, basically becomes inactive, and it's not just like magically removed in front of them. By the way, I guess that was recorded on some sort of testing operation, whatever. If you look carefully over here, you see Dyslexy. Dyslexy is probably the most famous ARMA 3 YouTuber or ARMA YouTuber there is out there. I guess he was invited for some sort of test game here. So that's just a bit of an Easter egg, if you will. Your rules, your war. So that's it. Yeah, that's Zeus for you. Again, I do like the idea. I do like the idea of this sandbox, or basically even a more enhanced sandbox, where you have one guy as the mission maker, somewhere in the background, influencing the mission on the fly. Definitely very interesting for the guys who are actually playing the mission. Let's see what else they have to, what else BIS is sharing about this upcoming DLC. Assume the role of game master, so they call it the game master, and curate the experience of other ARMA 3 players. Wielding an intuitive real-time editor, you can manipulate or expand multiplayer scenarios on the fly and create a surprising flow of challenges for the soldiers on the ground. So yeah, I guess we have heard about that already. And role as players. Form a squad, head into battle, and engage in truly dynamic combat. As one of Zeus' suspects, you need to react to varied objectives and adapt to unscripted events on a constantly evolving battlefield. Improvisation is the key to success. Certainly, again, also in real life, in the battlefield, no matter how much recon and intelligence you have, you will always have to adapt to to the new situation and to surprises that may come across your way. So this definitely makes it really interesting. MP modes play Arma 3 Zeus across its distinctive game modes or game master game type scenarios where nothing has been predetermined, or visit familiar modes like co-op, team deathmatch, sector control in a completely new way. Zeus multiplayer also works with custom pre-created scenarios. So that's something I find really interesting, especially the custom pre-created scenarios. So basically you can still, as for me example, as a community CEO, I can still create community missions in the editor as I'm used to, but then while playing the mission have Zeus as a tool like in the background, and when I see okay the mission turns out to be too hard for my team or too easy for my team, I can influence it on the fly. I can add or remove enemies, I can change tasks, I can send an enemy helicopter their way without having to, like, I don't know, stop the mission and re-editing and whatnot. So that's definitely very interesting. I hope it it's going to run on dedicated servers as well, not just on hosted servers, but I guess that's something BS will definitely figure out how to do. So yeah, co-op, team versus team, or also like normal, I'd say FPS game modes like capture the flag, or basically sector control as they call it here. So new multiplayer modes will come, but you can also use the tool in user created missions. I think that's that. Some screenshots here. Again, like this user interface for Zeus with a variety of things that you can create. You can add even animals and whatnot. So a lot of things to do there. Edit custom objectives, so it's going to be possible for Zeus to create objectives on the fly. Write some sort of description and whatnot. So that's all going to be able, or you're going to be able to do that. This seems to be a sector control mission, basically capture the flag. I guess you have multiple locations with a flag, team versus team. Yeah, but everyone just runs around and tries to capture as many flags as possible. And then here, I don't know what this guy's doing, trying to catch some butterflies, or yeah, just pictures maybe showing Zeus creating butterflies for whatever reason. Yeah, so that's that. There's not more information on the website so far. I do have one thing here though. This is a link. There is going to be an official BIS live stream about this Zeus DLC gameplay reveal on Saturday 15 to 17 o'clock or 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. UTC on the official ARMA 3 or the official ARMA 3 official Twitch page. So if you feel like watching that on Saturday, do that. I will not be able to watch it live. I'm going to be at my sister-in-law's birthday. I'm going to watch it later, I guess. But I guess then there will be more information revealed, and you will definitely see how things work directly in game. Alright, not much more to say. Checking the comments. Yeah, you can destroy vehicles and stuff with lightning bolts. Exactly, I analyzed that before in the trailer. Again, yeah, it looks kind of funny. It's not really realistic, I'd say, that a lightning bolt will take out a vehicle completely, or basically make it explode. But for this tool here, personally, if I'm in game, if I'm playing, and a vehicle I have in my view range explodes by lightning, it's a lot cooler than just disappearing right in front of me, because Zeus, or the game master, as they call it, has removed the vehicle with his tool. I'd rather have it explode in a cool fashion than just being magically removed, so I can live with that. Other question there, what does this mean to the normal multiplayer player? Well defined normal. Yeah, I guess it doesn't mean much, if you will. As we saw here, the tool is going to be available for co-op missions, team deathmatch missions, sector control, as well as custom player-created scenarios or missions. So it's obviously not gonna be, or I'm pretty sure this tool will not be enabled constantly by the game. It's not gonna become a standard vanilla function, you know. So for your mission, maybe you have you're gonna have a module in the editor that you can add to the mission, and then maybe predefine uh, a player that will be able to log into this Zeus user interface or so. But I'm sure, or I'm pretty sure, that BIS will not force you to use this tool. So it's gonna be entirely up to you if you want or if you don't want. If you wanna create missions with this tool, or if you wanna create your missions as you're used to in the editor, and then just use the tool while playing to influence the mission on the fly. That is my impression, or what I expect basically. But obviously it's all speculation. I cannot give you more information than what you can also read on this website. Alright, any more questions? Otherwise I'm gonna stop here. I cannot tell you anything else. Watch the live stream on Saturday. Check out the website, which I will link in the description below for you. Or you can obviously also Google it, you will find it instantly. Read the information yourself, watch the live stream, and then basically just wait for the release. I don't think there's a fixed release date yet. I haven't read anything about that. I'm not sure if it's coming in 2 weeks or in 3 months. We'll see. A question there. Do you think there's more behind it than they have shown, like more content or advanced interactions? Well, I don't think there's going to be extra content released with this tool. From the user interface, as it seems to have access to basically anything that is available in the editor, meaning all units, all vehicles, and all like empty objects such as barriers and whatnot. So you can use that. You do have smoke, chem lights, and whatnot that you can use to mark things. I guess there's nothing new gonna be coming with this particular DLC. I guess it's just gonna be the tool. Maybe there's some sort of multiplayer scenario that already uses this Zeus thing, you know, like for you to test it and play it with friends or so. That's very, very well possible. But I don't think that there will be new vehicles or something released with this add-on. That's I guess new vehicle releases will come with the Win campaign episode, the third and last campaign episode. Then we should hopefully finally get those fast aircrafts or fixed wing aircrafts for Blue 4 and Op 4. Maybe some minor other things, but this is definitely what has to come by the final campaign episode Win. See, Hawkeye is running their second quarter of 2014, so this will be somewhere between April and end of July, I guess. Alright, any more questions or discussions? There's a question about what is the release plan for the first half of the first quarter, I guess. I mean, in the first quarter now we had Adapt being released somewhere near the end of January. Yeah, I'm not sure when Win is going to be released. I heard that was going to be Mars. Maybe it's going to be April. We'll see. It is possible that the additional content, such as vehicles and whatnot, are going to be released earlier to the campaign episodes, or maybe, I don't know. I really can't tell you. Maybe in 2 weeks or so, or maybe in 3 weeks, or in a month, we'll get the aircraft, so maybe some 1 or 2 new weapons, and then maybe a month after that, the final campaign episode. Yeah. Also, it's hard to tell in what state of development it is. I mean, it might be basically ready, and they're just gonna tease and lead us on for another 2 weeks and then release it. Maybe they're still working on things, working out the issues. I have no clue. Ask BIS. Someone's writing that ARMA 3 is still in beta phase. Well, I do hope not. I mean, certainly some things do not work yet, but I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't go that far and call it a beta stage. Definitely not. There's too much stuff that is already working pretty well. All right. I'm gonna call it a night here. I hope it was somewhat not entertaining but informative. In case you have not heard anything about this release, I didn't really know it was coming today until yesterday. But yeah, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I feel kind of punked by BIS for not releasing actual content when using a countdown. When I see a countdown, I expect something that I can download once the countdown is down to 0, and not then read an announcement that will lead me on for another I don't know how many weeks. So yeah, that I find that pretty ridiculous. But nevertheless, the content that is announced now, this Zeus DLC, seems to be pretty sweet, and I'm looking forward to that. All right, have a good night. See you next time. Some changes in maybe the server config to make multiplayer servers running more stable and increase performance there. Others speculated that it would be extra content, extra multiplayer scenarios, things like that. Yeah, yesterday I saw that there was a countdown on the official Armaholic side, or on the official ARMA side, sorry. I talked about it with two of my officers, two of the officers in my community, and we were kind of joking about what it could be, and if they would actually release something today when that countdown. We'll watch the teaser that just went online on YouTube as well, and I'm just gonna share my impressions and my opinion about the whole thing. So if you want to check that out yourself, just go to the official ARMA 3 website, and then you get the countdown. You can click on that or go to Spotlight down here, doesn't really matter. Once you do that, you should end up here, and this is like the announcement page for that Zeus mod. What we'll do first is just like read here, Armor 3 Zeus, a new form of multiplayer engaged in online combat, influenced by a higher power, so Zeus obviously. So that was, I find that not super funny, quite frankly. I felt a bit pranked by BIS there. Nevertheless, what is announced is, in my opinion, pretty good. It is called ARMA 3 Zeus. It is a multiplayer DLC, a free DLC. I'm not sure if it comes with a patch once it's released, or if it's something you can download from their official website or something like that. What I'm going to do now, I can obviously not show you any real-life gameplay, because again, it is just an announcement that is out now. It is not downloadable content yet. What I'm going to do is just analyze the facts BIS released today in that announcement comes to 0, or what it would be, you know. When I came home from work, I saw the countdown was down to 0. The release, if you will, was out. Turns out it is not an actual release. It is just an announcement for a release. So I find that pretty hilarious personally, to make a countdown for an announcement and not for something that you will then actually release. So you just tease and lead on players who hope for new content, and then when the countdown comes to 0, all they get to do is like read about what is coming, maybe in another 2-3 months or whatever. Hey, what's going on, guys? Swiss Maverick here. Yeah, if you follow ARMA 3 on their website and whatnot, on the official website, you might have heard about it. ARMA 3 Zeus is announced now. For a while now, there has been going on a lot of fuss about this supposedly great multiplayer update that is coming, or that was kind of teased by BIS. Yeah, there were a lot of speculations within the community about what it could be. Some people were hoping for